I got rejected in an interview, not because I didn't understand the project, but because I couldn't write a BRD. And honestly, I hear this a lot from students and professionals. You're not alone in this. The problem is not your knowledge. It's that you were never shown the right way to convert that knowledge into documentation. And that's exactly what we are going to fix today. Also, quick question for you. Are you someone who understands everything when watching videos, but when you try to do it yourself, you get stuck? Because if yes, this video is exactly for you. And I want you to stay till the end because we are going to fix that gap step by step. Hi, I'm Leena, and this is exactly where most aspiring business analysts lose opportunities. You attend meetings, you understand everything, you even answer questions correctly. But the moment someone says, "Can you document this in a BRD?" your mind goes blank. Not because you don't know, but because no one taught you how to structure your thinking. And that's why in this series, we are not just learning concepts, we are building a real project step by step so that you don't face that same gap. In episode 2, we didn't do role play. We focused on something more important: how to handle vague requirements, how to deal with stakeholders, how to ask who, what, why. That episode was about thinking like a business analyst. But here's the truth: thinking is invisible. Documentation is what people judge you on. If you cannot convert your thinking into clear documentation in real projects, it's as good as nothing. Most BRDs fail, not because people don't understand the project, but because they write vague sentences, no clarity. They copy templates, no thinking. They miss important details, no structure. And today, I'll show you something most videos skip: how a real BA thinks while writing a BRD. The biggest mistake. Most people start like this: let's build a money transfer feature. Sounds logical, but it's wrong because features describe what to build, not why to build it. Imagine this in a real meeting. Stakeholder says, users are unhappy with the app. Now a fresher writes, improve user experience. Sounds correct, but it solves nothing. Because what exactly is wrong? Where is the problem? Why are users unhappy? Don't just watch passively. I want you to think with me. Imagine you are the business analyst in this project. A stakeholder just told you users are unhappy with money transfer. Now pause for 2 seconds and think. What would you write? Now let's see how a real BA approaches it. Real BA approach. Here's your problem statement. Users face delays and failures during money transfer, leading to frustration and drop-offs. Now this is powerful because it identifies issues like delays, failures. It shows impact, frustration, drop-offs. It gives direction for solution. Let me show you the difference this makes in real life. Two candidates go for an interview. Both understand the project. One says, we will build a feature. The other says, users are facing delays leading to drop-offs. Who do you think gets selected? The one who thinks in terms of impact. That's the shift you need to make. And remember this: if your problem statement is weak, your entire BRD becomes weak because everything else is built on top of it. Objectives. Now, once problem is clear, next question is, what are we trying to achieve? A weak objective looks like improve user experience. This is too vague. No one can measure this. Strong objectives looks like this: reduce transaction time to under 5 seconds, increase transaction success rate, reduce user drop-offs during transfer. Why this works? It is measurable, it is clear, it aligns with business goals. At this point, you might feel, I understand this, but I won't be able to write like this myself. That's normal because this skill comes from practice, not just watching. Quick recap so far. We started with the problem, then defined clear objectives. Now everything we write next will directly connect back to this. This is how a BRD stays structured. Scope. Now here's where things get started messy in real projects. Up until now, everything looks clean. But the moment scope is not defined, projects start slipping, teams get confused, deadlines start breaking. Let me show you why. Scope is where most projects fail because stakeholders will always say, add one more feature, small change, quick update, and suddenly your timeline is gone. Strong BA writes, in scope, UPI transfer, add beneficiary, transaction status. These are the features we are committing to deliver. Out of scope, international transfers, loans, credit cards. These are clearly excluded to avoid confusion later. Why this matters? Prevents scope creep, keeps team aligned, avoids last-minute chaos. Scope is not documentation, it's control. And this is something no one tells freshers. When scope goes wrong, it's not the developer who gets blamed first, it's the business analyst, because you were supposed to define it clearly. Now comes the part where most freshers get exposed in interviews. Functional requirements. Requirements from stakeholders. User should transfer money quickly. Let's do something different here. Before I show you the answer, try to frame this requirement in your head. User should transfer money quickly. How would you write it? Take 2 seconds. Now compare it with this. Weak BA would write, user can transfer money fast. Problem, this is not measurable, not testable, not clear. Strong BA approach, user can transfer using UPI ID or mobile number. System validates beneficiary before processing. Transaction completes within 5 seconds. Confirmation message is displayed. Notice something here? We didn't just rewrite the sentence. We broke it down into steps, added validation, added system behavior. This is what makes a requirement usable. Why this is strong? Each point is specific. Each can be tested. Each is clearly understood by developers and QA. Here's something very important. If QA cannot test your requirement is incomplete. This is exactly how real teams work. No one cares how long your document is. They care if it is usable. That's the difference between learning BA and working as a BA. Non-functional requirements. Most beginners ignore this section, and that's a big mistake. Include performance. Transaction should complete within 5 seconds. Security. OTP verification required. Availability. System should be available 99.9% of the time. Why this matters? Defines system behavior. Ensures quality. Impacts user experience directly. This is what makes your BRD industry ready. Quick pause. If your goal is to actually crack interviews, follow my BA interview questions playlist, where I teach how to answer properly, what mistakes to avoid, how interviewers evaluate candidates. Don't just prepare randomly. Follow a structured approach. Let me ask you something honestly. Right now, are you just understanding this, or can you actually apply it? Because there's a difference, and closing that gap is what will get you selected. Let's be honest. You might understand everything here, but still feel, will I be able to do this alone? That doubt is valid, because until now, you were consuming, not building. This series is different. We are building a real project together. Pause the video now, take 5 minutes, write 1 problem statement, 3 functional requirements, then come back. Because watching gives clarity, but doing builds confidence. Subscribe, not just for content, but because this is complete roadmap. If you follow this series properly, you will have something most candidates don't. A real project you can talk about confidently. Now here's where things get interesting. You have written a BRD, but developers don't directly work on BRDs. So what happens next? How do we convert this into user stories? How do Agile teams actually use this? How does this goes into Jira? That's exactly what we'll cover next. If you are serious about becoming a business analyst, follow the full playlist. Build this project step by step. Check out my Udemy course for complete interview preparation. In episode 4, we stepped into that exact gap. And trust me, this is where things get real. I'll see you in the next one.